Right now, in this very moment, something is happening that you cannot see with your eyes, but that your soul already knows. There is a message waiting for you. Not a message that arrives in an email, not a message that comes through a phone call, but a message that has been traveling toward you for longer than you realize, carried on light, carried on love, carried by beings who have never once stopped watching over you. And the truth that I need you to hear today, the truth that brought you to this video at this exact hour, on this exact day, is this. A message from your angels is closer than you think. You may be sitting there right now feeling tired. Maybe you feel unseen. Maybe you have been praying, hoping, waiting for some kind of sign that you are not forgotten, that your struggles have not gone unnoticed, that there is still a reason to keep believing. If that is you, I want you to take a slow breath right now, because what you are about to hear was not an accident. You did not stumble onto this video by chance. Something greater than coincidence placed this in front of you today. Angels do not work the way we expect them to. We imagine grand gestures, blinding light, voices booming from the sky. But that is not usually how it happens. Most of the time, the message is quiet. It is gentle. It slips into your life disguised as a feather on your doorstep, a song that plays at the exact moment you needed to hear those words, a stranger's kind comment that somehow answers the question you have been silently asking in your heart. Angels speak in whispers, not because they lack power, but because they respect the sacred space of your free will. They wait for you to be still enough, quiet enough, open enough to receive what they have been trying to give you all along. And here is something beautiful I want you to understand. The message is not far away in some distant spiritual realm that only a chosen few can access. It is not locked behind years of meditation or hidden in ancient texts you have never read. The message is near. It is in the room with you right now. It is in the rhythm of your breathing. It is in the goosebumps rising on your skin as you listen to these words. Angels are not separate from your life, watching from some far-off cloud. They are woven into the fabric of your everyday moments, waiting patiently for you to notice them. Think back, just for a moment, to a time when something happened that felt too perfectly timed to be random. Maybe you thought of an old friend, and that same day, out of nowhere, they reached out to you. Maybe you were lost in worry about money, and an unexpected check arrived, or someone offered you help you never asked for. Maybe you were grieving someone you loved, and a butterfly landed near you in a way that felt impossible to ignore. These were not coincidences. These were messages. Small, quiet, but undeniable proof that you are being guided, protected, and loved by something far greater than what your eyes can see. I know it is easy to dismiss these moments. Our minds are trained to explain everything away with logic. We say it was luck, timing, randomness. But your spirit knows better. Somewhere deep inside you, in that quiet place beneath all the noise of daily life, there is a knowing that refuses to be silenced. That knowing is the part of you that remembers where you truly come from. That knowing is the part of you still connected to the divine. And that knowing is what is stirring inside you right now. Even as you listen to these words, angels often try to reach us when we feel most alone. Not because they enjoy our suffering, but because pain has a strange gift hidden inside it. It softens us. It breaks down the walls we build out of pride and busyness and distraction. When life is easy, we forget to look up. We forget to ask for help. We forget that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not just bodies stumbling through a series of problems to solve. But when we are brought low, when we are tired, when we finally whisper into the dark, "Please, show me you're real. Show me I'm not alone," that is when the veil grows thin. That is when angels move closer. If you have been going through a season of heartbreak, of loss, of confusion about your purpose, I want you to know that none of it has been wasted. Every tear you have cried has been witnessed. Every sleepless night has been counted. Every prayer whispered through clenched teeth, even the angry ones, even the ones full of doubt, have been heard. Angels do not require perfect faith from you. They do not wait until you have all the answers before they draw near. They come to you exactly as you are, in your mess, in your fear, in your uncertainty, because their love was never conditional on your having it all figured out. There is an old idea, found in many spiritual traditions across the world, that we each have beings assigned specifically to us, beings whose entire purpose is to walk beside us through this lifetime. Not to live our lives for us, not to remove every obstacle, but to nudge us gently back toward truth whenever we drift too far from it. Imagine that. Imagine that since before you were born, there have been beings of light devoted entirely to your well-being, your growth, your awakening. You were never meant to walk this path alone. The loneliness you may have felt was never the truth of your situation. It was simply a veil, a temporary forgetting, and that veil is beginning to lift right now. Have you noticed certain numbers appearing again and again in your life lately? Maybe you keep glancing at the clock at the same repeating time. Maybe a number sequence shows up on receipts, license plates, or pages in a book you are reading. These are not random glitches in your perception. Many believe these recurring numbers are one of the simplest, most direct ways angels communicate, because numbers cut through language, cut through culture, cut through doubt. They are a code, a gentle tap on the shoulder that says, "We see you, we are here, pay attention." If this has been happening to you, take it as confirmation. The very fact that you are drawn to messages like this one is itself a sign that your spiritual senses are awakening. Sometimes the message comes not through a sign outside of you, but through an unexpected shift inside of you. A sudden wave of peace in the middle of chaos. A thought that drops into your mind so clearly it feels like it came from somewhere else. Something like, "You are going to be okay," or "This is not the end of your story." These thoughts are not just your own mind trying to comfort itself. They can be gentle transmissions, ideas planted by loving guides who know exactly what you need to hear and exactly when you need to hear it. If you have ever felt suddenly comforted for no logical reason, that was not nothing. That was a visitation, soft as a breath, but real. I want to gently remind you of something important. You are not being tested to see if you deserve help. You are not too far gone, too broken, too late, too lost for angels to reach you. There is no sin so heavy, no mistake so large, no season of darkness so deep that it places you outside the reach of divine love. In fact, it is often in our darkest chapters that the most powerful messages break through, because that is when we finally stop pretending we don't need them. Vulnerability is not weakness in the eyes of heaven. It is an open door. So as you continue listening, I invite you to simply notice what you are feeling in your body right now. Maybe there is warmth in your chest. Maybe your eyes are filling with tears you did not expect. Maybe there's a strange, settling calm, replacing whatever anxiety brought you here. These physical sensations are often the first language of spirit, because spirit speaks before the mind has words for it. Trust what your body is telling you. It already recognizes truth when it meets it. There is so much more to share with you, more signs to help you recognize, more truths about how close your angels truly are, and a message I believe was meant specifically for you in this very moment. But before we go further into that, I want to pause here and ask you something. Let's continue, because what comes next is something I believe you have been waiting your whole life to hear. There is a moment that happens in almost every person's life, a moment that often goes unnoticed until much later, looking back, when suddenly everything makes sense. It is the moment right before a breakthrough, the darkest part of the night just before the sky begins to soften with the first hint of dawn. If you are in that moment right now, if everything in your life feels heavy, uncertain, maybe even hopeless, I want you to understand something deeply important. This is not abandonment. This is preparation. Angels do not disappear during your hardest seasons. They draw closer. The silence you may have felt is not absence. It is the kind of silence that exists right before something sacred is about to be spoken. Think about how a seed grows. Before anything visible happens above the ground, there is a long period underground where nothing seems to be occurring at all. From the outside, it looks like stillness, like nothing is happening, maybe even like failure. But underground, in the dark, in the unseen, the seed is cracking open. Roots are forming. Life is beginning in a place no eye can witness. Your soul has been doing exactly this. Every hard night, every unanswered question, every moment you doubted whether you mattered, those were not wasted moments. They were root-growing moments. They were preparing you for a season of growth that is closer than you have ever imagined. I want to tell you about the way angels often reveal themselves through other people. Sometimes the message you have been praying for does not come wrapped in mystical signs or strange numbers. Sometimes it comes through the voice of a stranger who says exactly the words you needed without knowing why they said them. Sometimes it comes through an old friend who reaches out at the precise moment you were ready to give up. Have you ever had someone tell you something so specific to your situation that it felt impossible they could have known? That was not luck. That was a vessel. Angels often borrow human voices, human hands, human hearts to deliver what words alone could not carry. So if someone has ever shown up for you in a way that felt almost too perfect, too well timed, know that you are being held by something greater, even if the person delivering the message never realized their role in it. There is also a quieter kind of message, one that does not arrive through outside events at all, but through transformation within you. Have you noticed lately a shift in what truly matters to you? Maybe things that used to consume your thoughts, arguments, comparisons, the need to prove yourself, have started to feel smaller, less important. Maybe you find yourself craving silence more than noise, depth more than distraction, truth more than convenience. This shift is not random. This is your soul waking up. This is the quiet unfolding of spiritual awakening, and it is one of the clearest signs that your angels have been working with you, gently rearranging your inner world even when you weren't fully aware of it. I want you to consider something that might be hard to hear, but that I believe is deeply important. Sometimes the very pain you have been carrying, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the betrayal, was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to redirect you. Not because pain is good, and not because suffering should ever be glorified, but because sometimes the soul needs to be shaken loose from a path that was never truly ours to walk. If a relationship ended that you thought would last forever, if a job disappeared that you thought defined you, if a dream fell apart that you had built your entire identity around, those endings may have been protection, not punishment. Angels do not always stop pain from happening, but they never leave you to walk through it without meaning, without purpose, without the seed of something better waiting quietly beneath the wreckage. If you have been wondering whether your life still has purpose, whether the dreams inside you are still alive, whether it is too late to start again, I want to speak directly to that fear right now. It is never too late. Not for you. Not after everything you have survived. Every chapter you have lived through, even the ones you wish you could erase, has shaped you into someone capable of carrying a message, a light, a strength that someone else desperately needs. Your story, every painful, beautiful, complicated part of it, was never an accident. It was preparation for a purpose still unfolding. There is a reason this particular message found you today. Maybe you have been feeling unusually emotional lately, tears rising for no clear reason. Maybe you have felt a strange pull towards spirituality you never had before, an interest in angels, in signs, in meaning that seems to be growing stronger each day. Maybe you have felt a quiet exhaustion, not from your body, but from your soul, a tiredness that comes from carrying burdens you were never meant to carry alone. All of these are signs that your spirit is opening, stretching, preparing to receive something it has been hungry for. You are not falling apart. You are waking up. I want you to take a moment right now and place your hand gently over your heart. Just breathe. In this moment, I believe with everything in me that you are surrounded, not by emptiness, but by presence. Loving, patient, ancient presence that has been with you since before you can remember and will remain with you long after this video ends. You were never alone in your suffering. You were never abandoned in your confusion. Every single moment you thought no one understood, someone did. Someone has been gently weaving light into the darkest corners of your story, waiting for the exact right time to reveal just how much you have always been loved. If you have been asking for a sign, let this be it. Let the fact that you found this message, on this day, in this exact emotional state, be the confirmation your heart has been searching for. You were guided here. Nothing about this was random. The same gentle hands that have been arranging quiet miracles throughout your life arranged this moment too, this exact instant where you needed to hear that you are seen, you are valued, and your story is far from over. Trust the timing of your life, even the parts that feel painfully slow. Trust the closed doors, even when they break your heart. Trust the unanswered prayers, because sometimes silence is its own kind of answer, a redirection towards something far better than what you originally asked for. And above all, trust that you are loved beyond anything your mind can fully comprehend. Loved not for what you do, not for what you achieve, but simply because you exist. Your existence alone is sacred. Your breath alone is a miracle. Your presence in this world matters more than you have ever allowed yourself to believe. As you move forward from this moment, I want you to carry one truth with you above all others. The message was never far away. It was never hidden behind some impossible spiritual achievement you had to earn. It was here, all along, closer than your next breath, closer than your own heartbeat, woven quietly into every ordinary moment of your life, waiting only for you to slow down long enough to notice it. And now you have, now you know. The angels have not been silent. You have simply been learning, gently and patiently, how to listen. So wherever you are right now, whatever you are carrying, whatever doubts or fears or quiet griefs you brought into this video with you, I want you to release just a little bit of that weight. You are held, you are guided, you are deeply, endlessly loved. And the next time you feel a whisper of peace in the middle of chaos, the next time a number catches your eye, the next time a stranger says exactly what your heart needed to hear, remember this moment. Remember that you were told the truth. The message from your angels was never far away. It was always closer than you think, and it still is, right now, surrounding you, loving you, calling you gently home to yourself.